Want to rise above what holds you back? These are the stories of those fighting that battle. It might also be the story of you. I'm Dan Waldschmidt, author of Edgy Conversations and strategist of billion-dollar companies all over the world. This is Mark Minard, author of The Story of You, the guy who knows a thing or two about never giving up. You're listening to Elevating Beyond. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Elevating Beyond with a two-word mission statement: change lives. And I'm doing another special episode with this whole coronavirus, COVID-19, and breaking it down really as a business owner of 13 years plus of how I'm literally dealing with this with my company, like what I'm doing and helping break out the fluff from what's being said about all this SBA stuff and what truly is happening, not from theories, but from how I'm doing it in the trenches, like literally what I'm seeing on all levels. And this is important, everyone. This is an important episode. I'm going to be very real with you. Actually, I'm going to hit this live stream right here. Because, there's been a lot going on, and I have been on the grind. Wow. There's been so much. I'm going to share with you, though. So let me hit this on Instagram. So what's up, everyone on Instagram, as you're popping in here, also live in the Elevating Beyond studio. And feel free to start asking questions. I'm talking about, and as I've been doing this podcast, you see me in the studio as a business owner of 13 years plus. I haven't even had really time to be on here if you haven't seen me over this past month. It's because I have a company, Dreamshine, which serves individuals with special needs, that I started in '97, over 13 years ago. We serve over 50 individuals. I have over 16 people on my staff on payroll, plus 5 other subcontracted employees, team members. And as we all know, this thing has been crazy. And I'm sharing with you, and please ask me questions of how I've been, no fluff, no crap, how in the trenches, like this SBA thing, what it really is, how I've been doing it, how I've been applying for it, how you can, and also how freaking delayed everything truly is also. So there's so many different layers to all this. Trying to think where to even start. Okay, so number one, I'm only going to be real with you. I'm on here to help everyone. Like I'm working. Some people are writing like, "Oh, I'm at this stay home and I'm getting bored," and I'm like, "That must be nice." I'm working hundreds more hours a week on top of what I already worked with my business, with my family. My kids are outside right now. My wife, they're working on their school stuff. I'm going back and forth to my company, Dreamshine, re-strategizing, restructuring. It's craziness, but we're going to get through this. And one thing I just want to tell all of you, first of all, the government, they're not your superhero. That's right. And I'm telling you, I've dealt with them for 13 years from owning my company and battling up against the government to open my company for special needs, going up against the monopolies. And sometimes they mean well, but they don't have the common sense of what's really going on down the line. And if you're sitting there as a business owner and you're just waiting for the government to just hand you out all this stuff, and you don't think you're going to have to work your butt off and apply to get these SBA paycheck loans for your businesses and keep doing whatever it takes, then you're gonna end up screwed. Like, your company won't make it. But the good news is, if you keep, like, I started applying for this whole SBA, and I love all the trolls that are jumping on Instagram. That's awesome, because I don't usually do live on here. That's funny. But all the other 3 million listeners I have, the Elevating Beyond family, you know what's up. And people like that are literally just have time to get on here. Yeah, the haters, that's right, Prosper Nation. What a waste. Let's talk to you right now. What a freaking waste of energy. Who has time? What's up, Greg, my man? Who has time to be getting on things and trolling right now and hating on people? I think that's hilarious, and you're the first one wondering why it's the big successful businesses that are the evil people, and I'm a victim and all this stuff. And you're freaking wasting time right now getting on live streams of people that don't. I'm making time to help people. In addition to running my business for all my individuals with special needs and everything else I have going on, I've kept all my staff on payroll. I haven't laid anyone off during this. I'm working my butt off. I'm putting all my energy where it should be, and all of you should be too. But I love it when you trolls and you haters are getting on here doing this nonsense, because it just shows me your mindset. And in all honesty, I feel sorry for you, because the time you're putting into that, you could be putting into being successful, and you'll be sitting there complaining, and you'll get left in the freaking dust. You'll get burnt through this. So good luck to you. I've never met a hater in my life that was doing better than I was. So keep posting all your hate, because you're just letting everyone else know that you're not doing nearly as good as anyone else that's not posting all the hate. Doesn't bother me. I think it's hilarious. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, first of all, I want everyone to understand, I'm talking not from what you see on the news, but from the reality of what's happening in the trenches, starting with like the whole business SBA loan that I was one of the first to apply for it when it first came out. And then the whole system shut down 3 weeks ago. Then I did it again. And then now I'm working with my SBA banker. I've been applying for it, everything nonstop. I know what it is from 13 years. And on the news, they act like, oh, it's just coming through like that. You're going to get it like that. And everything just continues to be delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And you have to hope for the best and keep doing all you can, but you have to be so persistent. If you think that your advice just killed the vibe, hey man, if you can't handle the real talk, get off here, because you're not gonna make it. See ya. It doesn't matter. But the vice is the truth. And the truth isn't always easy to hear. However, I'm here to tell you, I've gone up against the impossible. 13 years ago, the whole government told me it would be impossible to open Dreamshine. And we ended up building one of the most successful companies in the state, serving more individuals in the most amazing ways. As a matter of fact, our dream team is doing undercover Easter bunny, going to some of our clients' houses and hiding eggs and goodies and stuff around their house, because some that are on the stay home can't leave and they don't have people to help them get anything. So we're doing everything that we possibly can. But what I'm telling you with this whole SBA thing is, just because you hear it on the news, they may mean well, Trump may mean well with what he's doing, but what happens up there, and by the time it gets down to the reality of actually in your bank account, until you as a business owner see that in your actual account, don't count on it as already having it. This is such an important thing. Hope for it, go for it, try for it, and don't give up on it. But know that you're gonna have to just put in tons and tons and tons of work. And those of you, there's no one way to do this throughout your companies, and everyone's business is built differently, but at the foundation of it, there is one thing that we all have in common to succeed, and it's persistence. That's the key. You just have to keep persisting and creating a way and finding a way and understanding that this is a season. This isn't the I hate when people say this is the new normal now. This is the temporary new normal, as we have, if you imagine in war, like my man Jocko says, as who's a Navy SEAL, as you're taking a strategy to basically to hide from the enemy for a while, which is what we're doing, while you're making another plan to replenish your supplies, stock up the hospital, make sure you have everything so they're not overflowing. Then the next step isn't just to stay in hiding, you have to go out and counterattack to win the war and not the battle. And that's going to be the next steps along the way, is how to transition back in and be innovative and keep food on the table and do your best you can to feed your team and your employees. And what I keep telling everyone from my company, Dreamshine, I say it like it's a ship, and no one's going to sink this ship. People tell me this is going to happen. That's not over my dead body. I built this from the ground up over 13 years. We're changing way too many lives for individuals with special needs. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you have to innovate. Yes, these times are crazy. But the thing is, this is the time to over communicate with your team. And something else that needs to stop is we don't need to just keep elevating all the fear right now, like the 24-hour news does. They only tell one side of the story. It's good to get the facts. This thing is real. But it's not good to just only have fear and panic, which leads to paralyzation and chaos, and to making decisions based on fear, which is the worst thing to do. And then also to be making quick decisions just based on emotions that you're feeling. It's way too much. You got to take time and get the facts, and then make a strategy, and then be willing to adjust, be willing to pivot. But you just have to keep moving onward. But this whole freaking fear-based, non-stop talk on the 24-hour news does no one any good. That becomes worse than the virus itself. I'm telling all of you. Get the facts, but don't allow fear to be the driving force behind your decisions, and keep moving onward. We're going to get through this. We've been through so much over the years. And I was thinking, like Nelson Mandela, who's someone that's a hero of mine, he was in prison, falsely in prison in South Africa for fighting for the rights of his own people for 25 years. In a little island in the worst conditions for 25 years. And not only did he get through that, he decided, as I get through this, when I come out, I'm going to overcome it, and I'm going to dare to believe and become the president of South Africa and unite the nation at a whole other level. And when I hear stories like that, that inspires me to think that this 30-day, this 45-day, and it may go on a little longer, that we're going through is nothing compared to 25 years where Nelson Mandela was locked up and locked away on that island in the worst circumstances on his cell that was like 8 feet by 8 feet by 8. It was like the size of a medium bathroom. 25 years. And he came out and became president. He didn't just come out and survive. He came out and became president and changed the world. So I want that to give you some hope. And also, this thing isn't good at all. But know on the other end of this that it's very sad the deaths, I mourn for everyone. But there's an amazing survival rate of like 98% plus of the overall population will survive this. Those are great odds. I'm not saying not to take precaution and do everything we can. I'm just telling you the other side. There's greatness to this. We're gonna overcome this. And I'm gonna start looking at everyone's things here. I'm stopping the live stream here for a minute because I have to finish my show with all of that's going on. But anyone that is, excuse me. I got it. That's not the coronavirus. I just took a drink. It went down the wrong tube. But you guys can't catch that anyway if I'm coughing through a mic. I don't think I need to wear my little face mask. Another great story there. Speaking of face masks, we had an awesome team member that innovated and has a sewing machine and made these awesome face masks because even me being in the healthcare field couldn't get them anywhere. And so she helped create a bunch of them. We got a whole system down. It's amazing to see what people are doing. And I've continued to talk with my team, and all of you need to at this time, and say, this is where we all have to really step up and be problem solvers. I'm working 100 hours a week. I'm doing everything I can to keep this going. I'm not gonna let this ship sink. I'm gonna fight. It's not going down. I'm gonna fight for all of you. We're gonna fight through this. But I'm telling you, I don't even have time to hear ideas right now because I'm freaking working hundreds of hours a week to keep this going. You've got to take the risk to turn those ideas into results and make things happen. And we've all got to come together. And I've been reaching out. The key here, what I tell all leaders, especially with your team, this is the time to over communicate more than ever. Especially during times of crisis, and especially when you're feeling down and discouraged and worried, you need to triple down on encouraging people during these times. Even when you're feeling terrified, sometimes it's even letting everyone know and being real, I don't have all the answers because I'm the owner. And I'm figuring it out along the way, and I'm feeling afraid too, but we're not gonna give up. This ship isn't sinking. And I'm reaching out and I'm over communicating with every team member. Here's what's going on. Here's what we're dealing here with a budget. We're all grown-ups. I'm gonna share with you grown-up stuff. We gotta overcome this to get to there. We're all adults here. I love you all. We gotta put feelings aside. We gotta empathize. We gotta love each other and understand each other's different situations too. And we gotta keep taking action. And over communicate. I can't tell you that enough, because when people are left in the dark, their brain just defaults to fear and the worst case scenario. That's the way a lot of our brains are wired. So I'm telling you, keep over communicating and persisting and innovating. And just don't wait for the government or anyone to come out and be your superhero, because they're not. They may try their best, they may mean their best, but you're gonna have to be persistent as you've always been. That's how you've created your companies. That's how you've built them up. You couldn't have got to where you are, and you didn't only come this far to come this far. So listen, everyone. I need to jump off here. I have tons going on like all of you. I just want to send out my love and some hope and let you know to just keep persisting and never settle, never give up, keep elevating beyond. God bless everyone.